So this is an update, guys, on a story that I reported on several months ago. And I went to the scene, and I'm showing that footage again here in this video. This is me walking around here over by Fullerton. It's just off of Fullerton. It's over in the 5200 block of West Montana. This is an area that is, it's like a Hispanic gang territory. I think people in the comments were saying it used to be Pachucos or something somewhere around there. I don't know. I don't know if it was. I don't know where the Pachucos have their territories or whatever, but this is an area not too far from some of the schools where I used to sell vet. And the gangs that I remember being, kind of around here, kind of deep, not this particular spot, but just in this general area, it was like a lot of D's. I don't remember exactly, though. But anyways, that's not important for this story. So you guys may remember Genesis Escobar. I'm going to put up her picture here. She was the woman who was 7 months pregnant when she and her boyfriend met up with these guys for a weed deal. Now, here's the thing that, is a mystery whether she was in on this with her boyfriend, whether they were planning to try and rob these guys and she was like part of a setup, or whether he just decided that in the spur of the moment. That's something that may come out at the trial, hopefully. But anyways, you guys remember I had said that her boyfriend had left her lying on the ground to die, taking some of the cash from the deal with him as he fled. She was the only one that was shot, and she and the unborn child died. So this is the boyfriend. I'm going to put up the boyfriend's picture here. His name is Chaz. Prosecutors say that this guy, Chaz, her boyfriend, was involved in this girlfriend being killed due to this situation while trying to rip off a pot dealer on Chicago's west side in March. And they called it the west side. I kind of consider this the north side, but it's like northwest side. Anyways, the Chicago Sun-Times reported just 2 days after the shooting that police believe that Genesis Escobar's boyfriend was responsible, but he was not arrested and charged until last month. So Chaz is 35. She was only like 21, and he was held to await trial by the judge, so he was not given a bond. Officials believe that Chaz and Genesis, who was 21, met up with a pot dealer in the 5200 block of West Montana on March 6th. Genesis got into the man's vehicle while Chaz stood outside. As the transaction unfolded, and this is being reported by CWB Chicago, Chaz pulled out a gun and tried to rob the dealer while threatening to kill him. The robbery, they said, resulted in a shootout, which resulted in his co-offender being shot, and the co-offender is Genesis. Okay, now she was shot 4 times. So Chaz, the pot dealer, and 2 other men inside the vehicle completely escaped injury. Genesis, who was 7 months pregnant at the time, was shot 4 times and died. They said she tumbled out of the car as the driver fled, sending money flying into the street. Her boyfriend grabbed some of the cash and also took off, leaving her lying on the ground. During the detention hearing, prosecutors said the shooting was captured on video, and also Chaz's phone's location data put him in the area of the shooting at the time of the crime. This is not the first time that Chaz has been accused of shooting. In 2008, he was charged with attempted first-degree murder following a shooting in the 5200 block of West Division. According to CPD and court records, he eventually pled guilty to aggravated battery by discharging a firearm in exchange for an 8-year sentence. His other felony convictions include 2 gun cases and an aggravated fleeing charge for which he is currently on parole. He's charged with aggravated discharge of a firearm into an occupied vehicle, 3 counts of discharging a firearm during an attempted robbery, and 3 counts of aggravated unlawful restraint. So this is an interesting case in which he's not being charged with her body because, okay, he was trying to commit a felony and she died during the course of the felony. I've seen a lot of other cases where he would be held responsible for that and could be charged with murder. Why that's not happening in this particular situation, I don't know. I don't know. It's possible, they called her the co-offender. So I don't know if that plays any role. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. But yeah, it appears that one of the charges is not her death at this point. And we have to remember, and pro-choice folks may disagree with this, but whoever could be charged with her body could also be charged with the body of her unborn child and charged with 2 homicides, not 1. So that could be an added thing if, but like I said, I don't know why they're not bringing that charge in this case. I don't know. But anyways, there's a long lecture that I could go into about doing street stuff to the ladies, but I think it's obvious enough in this case. Like, I don't think I need to even speak a word for ladies, okay? I mean, the guys, I mean, there's nothing I can say to the guys about this. The guys that are doing this type of stuff, like, there's nothing I can say to them. Like, it just is what it is. But the ladies, that are doing street stuff and are with guys that are in, doing this type of stuff, all I need to do without lecturing a word, without saying a word about, what you should or shouldn't do is just remind you he left her to die in the street and took the cash and ran. That, I think, is the only detail you should need to be able to understand exactly what you need to do from here on out if you're dating somebody that's doing this type of stuff. Okay? So this is me at the scene. This neighborhood, for everybody who is living in this neighborhood, I would not say that this is an exceptionally dangerous neighborhood. Like I said, I used to sub at Steinmetz High School. I subbed at North Grand. These are all high schools in the area. I subbed at Foreman. There were gang problems, but it was the kind of area where you could avoid that if you wanted to. It wasn't like back of the yards, Inglewood, a little village where you're going to get, pressed into that and where everybody on the block is doing it. It's not like that. It's like there's that crowd, but I wouldn't even say that most of the kids there were in gangs at any of the high schools in the area. That was maybe, if I had to venture a guess, I'd say maybe like 20% of the student body. The rest of them were not doing that, and it was very easy to have a group of friends and not gangbang. That was something you had to go looking for over there. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, I mean, if you're on the block and your older brother is doing it or something like that, that's one thing. But, if you're just a student at one of those schools, I wouldn't say that that's a big risk. So, for people that are living in like the, the little villages, the back of the yards, the West Humboldt parks, and you want to move close, okay, you want to get somewhere where, you don't want to move way out into a small town or out into the suburbs or something. It's better than where you're at now. It is better than you're at now. You want to live in a predominantly Latino community. I understand, like, some people, they want to live around their own ethnic group where everybody speaks their language. Like, I get it. That's one of the better predominantly Latino communities in Chicago. Despite the fact that this happened, I understand this happened, but I would not say that in that particular zone, this is like an everyday thing. It's not, it's not Garfield Park. It's not, Lawndale. It's not Little Village. It's not like that. This is an area where that thing kind of happens rarely and where you really have to get involved in that. If you're a girl, okay, then you have to, obviously, if there's a guy that you like that's involved in that, you have to resist that. And I did meet girls who were into guys that were into that. And I try to advise them, and you're going to be laying in the bed when you're in your 40s and 50s that you're making now. Like, you're making your bed, you're going to have to lay in that bed. You're making the bed right now, you're still going to be laying in that bed when you're, grown with, 3 kids by all these different guys, and, they're dead or locked up and can't support the kids or help you at all. That's something that's worthwhile, like having their moms or somebody that's been through that same experience talk to them about, because they end up in just like, it's usually not this, but it's usually, like I said, a bunch of kids with a bunch of different guys. They're all dead or locked up, don't even know that they have these kids, never see the kids, that type of thing. So, yeah, I highly advise women not to date. I don't know if this guy's in a gang or not, or if he's just in the streets, or if he was just doing this. This was a one-time thing. I don't know. Who knows? But anybody that is doing stuff like this is not somebody to get involved with. Ladies, I'm just Boy Chicago News. I'm out.